Welcome back to Justin Praise online tutorials. Today is really going to be a very long day, but before then, let me use this opportunity to appreciate you for your time, for sharing our videos, and for your support. I know that as we have started well, we are going to also end it well. So, as I said, today is really going to be a very long day. I've been able to release videos on most of the important sessions. As I already told you, I'm not going to release video on all the sessions, but I'm selecting the important sessions, the areas that you are likely to meet in your exams. These are the areas I'll be covering this time around. So I've released video on session 2, which is how to take and how to make notes. Session 3, which is all about what paraphrasing, and then session 4, which is about summary writing. All of them are what writing skills. So writing skills 1, writing skills 2, writing skills 3. So we are continuing with it. Today's tutorials will be centered on session 5, which is what writing from multiple sources. When you say writing from multiple sources, where usually we whenever we are writing, we pick information from different sources, from magazines, articles, online publications, books and stuff. So we are now coming to look at how we can use these sources, or we can put all of them together without actually stealing someone's idea. That is what we are coming to do. So that is all we are coming to do today. And trust me, whether you like it or not, these things, you meet them in your exams. So it's always good to pay attention to whatever we are doing here, and I think it's really going to help you. So the areas will be the area of concentration is referencing, quotation, and then the use of verbs of referencing or reference. Okay, verbs of reference. So these are the area of concentration for today's online tutorials. So as I said, so we are coming to look at what references and quotations means. Why do we give references, and then reference system, writing the in-text citation, and then end-text citation. Okay, and also using how to use quotations, using verbs of reference, and then writing the list of references. So these are the things you are coming to do. So as I said, it is always good to acknowledge people's idea. And in academic writing, or being a university student, you can't do away with these things. In academic discourse community, as we did in level 100 second semester, right? That's academic writing 1. You know the features or the characteristics of academic discourse community, which we know that is a community that it has a lot of people. Everything that we do in an academic discourse community is full of writing. Okay, let me put it this way for you to understand. In anything that we do in any academic community, academic discourse community, our language is writing. Everything we do, we write, and it is always good to learn how to incorporate information, or gather information from different sources, and then write them in a way that it will be presentable. You don't just go and copy something online and then make it your own. If you do that, we call it plagiarism. So to avoid plagiarism, you must learn how to reference your essays and publications, in order not to commit this kind of a crime in writing. Okay, so you shouldn't do these things. So that is very important. So that is what we are coming to do. one aim of academic writing is to generate knowledge through research. So everything we do is through research. I think this semester, or maybe the moment you get to level 300, especially those of you doing political science, they will be giving you some 10 papers to write, and then some of you will be starting your long essays and stuff. That's where you notice that whatever that we are doing here is very, very important, and it's going to guide you even after your undergraduate program. If you want to continue, you still need all these things, and they are all part of what writing skills. So you must know all these things before you move forward. So you have to what, learn how to appreciate people and their work. But as I said, this is very long. The session is very long, so I'll be brushing through and then pay more attention to the most important things. So that is what we'll be doing. So reference. So what we're coming to do now. So what are reference and quotations? So we are coming to look at what reference and quotations entails. So reference and quotations refers to the appropriate recordings of particulars and words of other writers whose works have used in your work. So the whole thing is that the referencing and quotation, it is what? It's when you try to record the particulars and words of other writers whose works you have used in your work. So if you record the works of people that we have used their work in your work, that's what we call references and then quotations. So assuming I've read something from this that's Rich Dad Poor Dad, okay, and I want to use it in my my essay or my exams or whatever test or whatever publication that I'm writing. I incorporating that information into my essay becomes what a reference or a citation, or a reference or a quotation. But there's a way of doing it. If you write it, if you just add it without referencing it or quoting it, the person may know, the reader may not know that you are referencing someone. It is someone's idea. The person may be thinking it is your own idea. So it is always prudent to quote where, or quote the idea, okay, or where you got the information from. You quote it, or you reference it, and that's what you should know. Also, whether you read or heard the idea, you must recall both the idea and the particulars of the individual or group whose idea it was originally. Okay, so the original word, where you got it from, you must record it and appreciate the person. Sometimes you record word for word. Sometimes you record word for word what the original writer has said or written. It is what quotation or direct quotation. So if you do not paraphrase it already, you know what a paraphrase is. You know how to paraphrase a word, and you know how to summarize. You know the differences between paraphrasing someone's work and then summarizing someone's work. If you don't understand it, go back to my my previous videos, session 3 and session 2. I've recorded a video on those sessions, so you go through them. And you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and share it with your friends. So like I said, so with a quotation, when you record it word for word, you get it. Sometimes you record it word for word from the person that you are quoting his idea, or you paraphrase it. So you should know all these things. And then the other times you summarize or paraphrase. So okay, yeah, as I've already said. So we are coming to look at the reasons why we give references the reasons why we give what references. You should know why referencing is what very very important. Some of you don't understand why you should reference someone's idea, thinking that, oh, if I put this nice idea in my essay, the lecturer will be thinking that, oh, I'm a very nice or I'm a very brilliant student. But that's not how it is. Okay. Referencing without I mean writing without referencing the person becomes what is very bad as an academic writing student. It's very bad to what to exhibit this kind of behavior. It's not good for you. So you must always learn to what reference people or give credit to people for their work. So the reasons why we normally give references: one, to what, according to what Bailey 2015, he said that these are the reasons he stated. He said to identify three important reasons for giving references. So these are the reasons what for giving referencing. One, to show that you have read some of the authorities on the subject, which will give added weight on your comment. So mostly, if you try quoting, sometimes anytime you quote someone's idea, or you reference someone in your essay, it shows that you have what you have read the either the book or the comprehension or whatever it is, the text. It means that you have what you have read it, you understand it, you get it. And the person, it gives the reader some kind of impression about you, that, oh, this person, he has done a lot of what research, because it's not everybody that can go out to search for information or read books and gather information to what make his writing so unique. So anytime you read books, or the more you read books, the more you read from other sources, it gives you more information. So it shows that what you have read it, shows that you have read it. And if you are making argument, you don't just argue, but you argue with facts and figures. You give sound and cogent argument, critical thinking. You understand these things, so it helps you to what give sound and cogent argument. You don't just wake up by what stating mere fact, or you don't argue based on hearsays. But what, the more you read, the more you broaden your understanding about certain things. Me, one thing I do, I don't know, but recently what I do is I read 2 books a week. I read 2 books, and I don't just read just any book. I don't read fictions. I read books, personal books that will develop me. Okay, I mean books about financial intelligence, books about personal development, communication, book about all these things. The more you read, the more you gather more ideas, the more you get more information. So it helps you whenever you stand out and you are making argument. It makes people see that you are intelligent. It gives you control. It gives you upper hand, okay, over people that what you are arguing with. Anytime you stand up to what argue, people know that, oh, this person knows a lot. And the second reason is that it's to show readers to locate your sources. Okay, so anytime you quote or you reference someone's idea in your book, the readers, sometimes some of the readers want to find, or they want to know where you got that information from. So the moment you quote the person, or you reference it, it gives the reader the needed information. Okay, it helps the reader to get the needed information in order to what search for it. Me, sometimes if I read some books and they give some references, I quickly look for them, and then if there's a book that I need to download to get the full information, I download that book, and then read that the whole book and get more information and add it to what information I have. So that is the second reason. And the third one is what? To avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism is what? You writing or copying someone's idea without acknowledging him. So you copy everything ditto without acknowledging him. When you do that, it is plagiarism. And in academic writing in University of Ghana, if you do plagiarism, they can even revoke your studentship. Okay, if you copy someone's work, they can terminate your what, the contract you have with the school. They can terminate it. They can sack you. It is what, against the school's rule. So if you like copying things from internet or copying people's idea, you should stop, because the university can sack you because of these things. So, and if you like giving your work to people to copy, you have to be very careful. Some people will like to paraphrase it and maybe even do research and get more idea to whatever that they have, but some will never do, and they will just post everything. I know University of Ghana is using this system that detect everything that you put or you upload online. Okay, they have these plagiarism tools and AI tools on at Sakai. Okay, so this Sakai, they have upgraded it. So if you copy someone's work, even if you do your assignment and you give it to someone, let me give you an example. When we completed school, one of my colleague gave her work. I think she has a friend who is currently in level 400. So they gave them the same work, and then she gave that work to her friend to submit. And guess what? The lecturer was able to detect that this work someone has submitted before. The person has submitted it before. Because of technology, a lot of things you can't beat a system like that. They will catch you. So you have to be very careful. And always, even if you don't know, lecturers prefer you even writing. If you don't know, or you don't know how to write or whatever, they prefer you writing, using your own idea rather than copying someone's work. That one, if they catch you, they can give you 0 marks. There are some lecturers, when they catch you, they will just give you 0 marks. Okay, for nothing. You won't get anything. Some of them will also call you before the school authority, and they ask, unless maybe the person decide not to mind you, but anything you do, they will catch you. So that is it. So let's go to the next topic. So references are given in 2 stages. So we have what? At the first stage, you give the citation at the point where you have used the writer's idea. So this is what we call what? The in-text citation. So the moment you give citation at the point where you use the writer's idea in the essay, in your writing, okay, it is what? The in-text. So that one, in-text citation is done in your work, okay. Whilst you are writing, you quote the person. The moment you quote a person or someone's idea in your work, you get it. That is, so it says that what okay, so it says that at this stage you give what? A citation at the point where you have what? Use the writer's idea. So this is the in-text. The in-text means that the citation that you do whilst what? The work is in progress, okay. You give all the what in your work, okay. So you see somebody, most of the books you write, you see, okay, Jackie Dando 2003 stated that development is a multi-dimensional process, whatever, then they will end it like that. So all those ones that you see, they are in-text citation. And then we have the second part, which is what? The second stage. That one, the second stage is what? At the second stage, you write the list of all sources that you have used in your essay at the end of your work, and that is what we call the end test reference. Okay, that is what we call reference. So mostly the slides, when the moment you finish the moment you get to the end, you will see that they'll give you the reference, where they got all the information from. Okay, they will quote all the people there. So that is the reference, the information. They will give you all the information. So the citation and the reference, the citation is done. The reference is done after the work. Okay, after you are done with the work, then you all the citations that you made in your essay or your test. Okay, all the citations that you made in them, you have to write all of them. You number them. Okay, number one, you give the person's name, the title, the page, and you will get to that stage, so you get to know more about them. So that is what the end test citation, and the one that happens during the process of writing, or throughout the process whilst you are writing, it is what the intercitation. So the reference systems, so we are looking at the reference system. So the reference system also referred to as what? Reference style. Okay, so pay attention, note that the reference system is also known as what? The reference style. And they are what? Established conventions for what? For writing citations and lists of references in an academic text. There are several reference styles, such as the American Psychological Association, that is APA. That this is the most common reference style. Okay, the APA is the most common reference style, followed by the Modern Language Association, which is what the MLA style. We have Chicago style, we have Harvard style, and so on. There are so many styles, but the most common ones are the MLA and then the APA. So in your exams, they can give you a full, like, they can give you a passage or a comprehension with everything, the details, and they ask you to reference it in MLA style. So you should know how to do that. Okay, and then they can even ask you to do it in APA style, referencing style. So you should know how you should do at least these two referencing styles. You should know them. You should know how to do this. And there are so many ways to go about them. If it is a book, there's a way to go about it. If it is an article, there's a way to go about it. If it is an online journal, there's a way to go about them. So all these things, you must learn them, because in the exams, whether you like it or not, they will come. They will give you like a passage or an article, okay, which consists of all the reference. Everything will be there. Everything will be there, and then they will ask you to what? Reference it. So you have to what? Do everything yourself. And when you are referencing, there's a way you go about it. All of these things we have to teach you. So institutions and departments typically use one particular reference style. Reference styles are often recorded in a document called the style sheet. So the document, that's what they record the references in, are called what? The style sheet. The style sheet provide guidelines for both in-test citation and end-test list, or the reference. And then the next, okay, so that is it. So in a as you know about these things, and now let's move to our next topic. So we are now coming to look at the writing, how to write what? An in-test citation. How to write an in-test citation. So anytime you use another writer's idea in your work, you must give an in-test citation. Please pay attention. anytime you use another writer's idea in your work, you must give an inter citation. That is when you must. That is that is what you must cite the source where you use it. So if you're out using someone's idea, the process or the style you should use is what? Intercitation. So you cite where you got the information from. Okay, and when you cite a direct quotation, that is using the exact words that the original writer has used. Use quotation marks and state the surname of the writer's author, date of publication, and page number. So this is how it is done. So when you are citing it direct, okay, or when you are quoting it direct, you must what? You must use the exact words. Don't paraphrase it. If you want to quote it, pay attention. If you want to quote the exact words that the person wrote, or you want to incorporate these words in your essay, in your article, in your project work, you must what? You must use the exact words that the original writer has used. So use quotation marks and state the sense. So when you are writing, you use what? Quotation mark, and you also make sure what? You cite you state what? The same name of the writer, the date of publication, and the page number. It depends on the writing style that you are using. If it is MLA style, there's a way you go about it, and if it is APA or Harvard or Chicago, there's a way you should go about them. So you must pay attention to all these things. One on the other hand, when you cite a summary, for example, capturing the key ideas of the writer, briefly use your own words. So when you cite a summary, you must what? You must capture the key idea of the writer. Okay, if it is a summary, if you are summarizing whatever that the person wrote, you know how to summarize a text and you know how to paraphrase a text. So when you are summarizing, what you should do is to what? You should what? Maintain the key ideas or the main ideas. Okay, maintain it, and I've taught you all these things. So you don't what? You don't leaves the key information out. You must what? Maintain the key information. So you have to what? You have to briefly what? You must what? Maintain the person's what? Idea. That is it. You must maintain the person's idea. Capture the key ideas. And then after that, after capturing the key ideas, use the same name and the publication date. The person's same name. So sometimes you see Amma 2003. Okay, Kofi 2019. So that is the same name. The same name. Okay, we have let's use Nukunya 2000. Nukunya. So those of you doing sociology, you know Nukunya, Professor Nuk. Is it yeah, Professor Nukunya. So Nukunya 2000. His definition about marriage. And then Lucy May. Yes, Lucy May's definition of marriage. All these things, you see, they stated the year of publication and then the person's surname. So I know if you are anytime you read, you don't pay attention to these things, but now as you are doing these things, you must pay attention to all of them. When you are reading in a book or a publication, all these things, you should be able to identify them. So let's consider the following illustration in example 1, 2, and 3. Yes, example 1, 2, and then 3. So now we are doing what? The inter-citation. So all that we are doing is what? Inter-citation. That is when while the writing is in progress, okay, and you want to maybe quote someone's idea. This is how we go about it. So let's read whatever the example they have given to us here. Concerning a child's ability to acquire language, Hoff asks, is the development of language in children the result of mature image endowment, like the development of upright posture and bipedal locomotion, or it is the result of the circumstances in which children are nurtured, like the development of table manners and ability to do calculus, both of which depend on particular experiences. So you see, these words have been we quoted someone's word, and the person is what? Hoff. Okay, we quoted Hoff's word, and then after everything we quoted the year and then the page number, which is the year is what? 2014, page what? 16. So if you want to know this, when you get Hoff's book or his when you get his book and you go to page 16, you see these things there. Okay, you'll be able to find this information. So you see, it is very simple. If you are searching for this information, you will never struggle. That is it. And then the above citation, which is what? A direct citation. The same name is what? Hoff. And the publication here is what? 2014. The page number is 16. So that is what? A typical example of inter-citation. So as the tutorials is the tutorial is ongoing, you can also what? Try your hands on other examples and see if you can do it yourself. And then another example, according to Hoff 2014, researchers wondered if a child's ability to use a language was built into his or her body or came from training. So with this one too, this is the most common one that we normally use. Me mostly, if I'm writing an article or I'm writing any paper or any project work, I mostly use this method. Okay, so you see, the according to this, and most books they mostly use this method. Okay, according to Hoff, okay, 2017, and then his idea, we brought what? The words that he I mean his original idea, which is what? Researchers wondered if a child's ability to use a language was built on his or her body or came from training. So with this one too, everything was what? We summarize the text. That is the first example was what has been summarized here. That's why we didn't bring we didn't quote it. Okay, we didn't. This one is not what word for word. So we summarize it, but we maintain the main idea. If you read the example 1 and you read the example 2, the ideas are the same, but the idea in example 2 is a summary of what? Example 1. That is the whole thing. So when you are summarizing it, you don't bring what? You don't quote it. That is it. But at the end of the day, you must what? Cite it where you got it from, so that if the person wants to what? Find out whether it is true or false, he can quickly identify it. In our web citation, which is what? Summary, only the author's surname and the year of publication are used. And then let's look at the example 3. Example 3. So it is possible to merge a summary and quotation as illustrated below. So here we are going to what? Merge summary and what? A summary and what? A quotation. So when you are merging a summary and quotation, the first example is what? Total word for word. We quoted everything. That's why we use what? A quotation mark. So we quoted it what? Word for word, everything. So according to this, Hoff asks what? It is is the development of whatever. We quoted everything, and at the end of the day, what? Stated the year of publication and then the page number. But the second example, we summarize it. But at the end of the day, you realize that the writer, and then the year of publication, we always what? Quote the person, and then the year that what he wrote that book. So you must pay attention to it. So here we are coming to learn how we can merge a summary and a quotation together. So according to Hoff 2014, researchers wonder if a child's ability to use a language was built into his or her body or came from training. So you get it. So this the first sentence is what? A summary. The first sentence, which is what? Researchers wonder if a child's ability to use a language was built into his or her body or came from training. So this is what? A summary. By the end of the day, we've quoted the person. Now let's look at we are coming to what? Quote the person directly. So that's how I said we are coming to use what? The summary and then the quotation. So let's see how we do it. She explains that. So here we see we have brought the quotation mark. The quotation mark here means that we have what? Quoted the person directly. Okay. So everything is from the book. So let's look at it. See, this is the nature debate. It predates not only the modern study of language development, but also the emergence of psychology as discipline. Hoff 2014, page 17. So that is it. So know that the citation for both the summary and quotation are appropriately what? Written. The style is used in illustrations. That is 1, 2, and 3 out APA style. So all the style that we use, it is American Psychological Association style that we use, which is APA style. So now let's look at how we can use quotation. Using quotations. So using quotations use the exact words and the original what? Writer. So if you want to use quotation, you must use the exact word of the original writer. Anytime you use a quotation, if I'm reading your book, your essay, your paper or anything, and you use a quotation mark, it means that you are using the exact words of the writer. If you know you can't quote the exact words of the writer, don't use a quotation mark. But always what? Quote the person. But don't use quotation mark, because it could be that I have an idea about whatever the person said. Let's take for example, Kwame Nkrumah once said that when freedom is too long delayed or denied, violence will break out here and there. Not because the people wielded or planned, but the accumulated grievances will erupt with volcanic fury. This is a quote I have in mind. You get it? But someone may also see it in a different way. So if you are not really sure whatever the person said, but you have an idea about it, don't use quotation mark, but quote the person. Now, according to Kwame Nkrumah 2017, okay, then you write it. You write it in your own way, but you maintain the main idea, the important idea. That is all about summary. If you are summarizing something, the fact that you are summarizing it doesn't mean that you should lose it. What you should lose clarity. I've stated this thing to you. I've already threw more light on these things. Doesn't mean you should lose clarity. Conciseness doesn't mean you should what lose clarity. You should what concise. It should be simple. It should be in a way that people will understand it. But don't lose the meaning. The meaning, don't lose it. And also, they are placed in quotation marks always. So anytime someone is using a quotation, it is what? It is placed in what? If you are using the writer's original idea, it is what? Placed in quotation marks always. So anytime you see something in a quotation mark, you know that it was what? Quoted from somewhere. Okay? Yeah. Also, it is advised to use quotation sparingly. Okay, it is advised that you always use quotations. So use them. So whenever, how do or when do we use quotation marks? So let's look at that one. When do we use quotation mark? First, the original words express the idea in a distinctive way. So when the original words express the idea in a distinctive way, then you use what? The quotation. And then when the original word is more concise than your summary could be, that one to what? You use what? A summary. So you know that whatever the person said is concise, is simple, it's easy to understand than the one that you'll be writing. Then there's no need to what? To summarize it. You have to what? Quote it directly. And when the original version is well known, okay, if the quotation is well known, that everybody they know about that one, then there's no need to what? Summarize it. You need to what? You need to quote it. There are some quotes that are very popular. Very popular. Okay, so if, as you know, that it is popular and people know, and you know, even if you write it, it won't be nicer than whatever the person wrote. There's no way to summarize it, to bring it. Yes, that is it. So appropriate ways to use quotations. Let's look at appropriate ways we can use quotations. So we have nested quotations, block quotations, ellipsis, and then inserting your comment in a quotation. So now let's look at the nested quotation. When you say nested, you know, bears and how they nest, you know, bears, and you understand that one. So let's look at the nested quotation. Nested quotations are quotations inside a quotation. Okay, so whenever you find a quotation inside a quotation, it is what? Nested quotation. You may quote an author who has also quoted another author. Here is an example. So with a nested quotation, it's simple. Anytime you quote an author, who has also quoted someone. Okay, it is what? Nested quotation. Like the slides we are using, you see that whatever the lecturer, this one was written by what? The slides was written by is it Dr. I'm sure it's Dr. Odoy, or one of his, you get it. So the lecturer who wrote these slides, you could see that he has also quoted someone. You will see he has quoted someone, that's Bailey. Okay, he has quoted someone. So if I am writing any project work and I want to use the idea here, which the lecturer has also quoted from someone, then I need to use what? The nested quotation. So let's look at this one. Hoff 2014 contended that the definition of language by Crystal. So he's trying to tell us that Hoff quoted a definition by what? Crystal in 1995. So Hoff's book in 2014 quoted someone called what? Crystal in 1995. And this is what it says. So you see, after that, he has now brought what? Quotation mark here. You get it? So the systematic and conventional use of sounds or signs or written symbols for the purpose of communication or self-expression. You get it? He has quoted it here. In short and simple, in short and simple, and although true, it is misleading in its simplicity. That is page what? 4. So he has quoted the person here. Let me give you another example. According to, if you want to write it in an APA style, okay, if you want to write it in an APA style, this is how you go about it. According to Johnson 2019, now I could quote it, I have to quote it here. So quotation mark. Brown 2005, that one too. Brown 2005 found that, another quotation mark, results indicate a significant what? Correlation. The result indicate a significant correlation. Then that's a quotation mark. So that is it. And then the page number, which is what? Page 35. So that is it. And if you want it to be in MLA style, that is MLA style, this is how you go about it. According to Smith, okay, bracket, quotation, and I have to quote. So according to Smith, you see Smith is now going to quote Brown. So according to Smith, so you quote now, quotation mark here. Brown found that the result indicate a significant correlation. You get it? Page, that is 35 bracket, quotation mark. So that is it. But I'll be writing something about this MLA and then APA style on how to use all of them, so you can understand them better. In the example, the writer quoted Hoff, who also quoted Crystal. That is what I explained to you earlier. One set of quotation mark is used for the word of Hoff, and the other set is used for the words of Crystal, whom Hoff has quoted. So he used this set of quotation mark for what? For Hoff, and then the other set of quotation mark for Crystal. So that is it. Now let's look at the block quotation. So with a block quotation, this is how it is. So if the quotation is long, which is what? Four typed lines or more, begin it with a preamble. So when you talk of preamble, even if you mostly books like the Constitutions and these rules and stuff, they give you some key features, the key information about what the book is about. So that is all about the preamble that we are talking about. And also end the preamble with what? A colon. And then indent all the lines quoted at the left margin. So when you talk of the indentation, it refers to the practice of what? Starting each line of a long quotation with what? With a consistent horizontal space at the left margin. It's a use cue that helps readers to identify the quoted material within a text. So that is it. So sometimes you see it is easy. That one is what? It's a the indentation. It's easy to what? To identify them. When you incorporate this, or when you use the indent lines, it is easy for you to what? Identify it. And also the quotation may also be printed in smaller font size and line spaces. So that is it. And then, so this is an example. Let's look at the example here. So you see, HOF 2014 affirms. HOF 2014 affirms. So you could see that this is the preamble. HOF 2014 affirms is the preamble, and then the indentation follows, or the indent lines also follow. So you see, the child who learns a language also comes to learn how to combine sentences into a larger unit of discourse. To tell a story or have a conversation as they learn a language, children learn to use that language to communicate in socially appropriate ways. They acquire the means to share their thoughts and feelings with others, and skills to what? To do so differently with their peers and their grandparents. That's page 6. So that is what? A typical example of block quotation. This is what? A block quotation. So let's that the block quotation, as I told you earlier, we use it only if the lines are what? Larger. The lines are more than 4. So note that the quotation marks are not used in block quotation. Note that quotation marks are not used in what? In the block quotation. It is important to include the page number. So when you are using block quotation, we don't use what? Quotation marks. That's why you bring the preamble and then the indented lines for people to see that you quoted someone. But it is always advisable to include the page number. That is it, like we did here. So page what? 16. So it is easy for people to identify. And we have what? Ellipsis. So sometimes it is necessary to take out words in the sentence, because you can what? You can make your point clearly without these words. So as I said, it is what? Necessary to take out some words in your sentence, because you can make your point clearly without these words. So mostly we normally bring the ellipses. When you talk of the ellipses, they are the three. Mostly when you are reading some books, some text, you see they will be bringing 3 dots. Okay, after some words they will bring three dots, meaning that some words are there. Okay, some words are there, but it is not important for them, so they didn't bring it. So it tells you that some words have been taken off. But if you want, you can search it. If you have since it has been referenced, it is easy to get those words. That's why it is good to reference people's work. Okay, you have to quote it. So in such a case, use ellipsis. Okay, ellipsis marker. So that is the 3 dots in place of the word or words deleted. Here are examples. So I'm giving you one with what? Ellipsis, and then the one without what? Ellipsis. So cognitive scientists now agree that it is important to understand how this mind works in order to explain human behavior, but they do not agree on how the mind works. That's HOF 2014 page 2. So it is giving you an idea that the cognitive scientists do not agree on how minds work. It could be that my argument that I'm making, I just want a point, some a point to something to buttress the argument I'm making, that the cognitive scientists do not agree on how the mind works. So this is the only important information. But you could see that the beginning I brought some words there which are not necessary. But the only words I need here is what they do not agree on how the mind works. So that is it. So now let's use the ellipsis. Okay, the ellipsis. Let's use it. So cognitive scientists, and you see we have brought that ellipsis there. Three dots. The three dots are there. So do not agree on how the mind works. Hoff, 2014, page 2. So that is it. You see, we have taken the unnecessary words from it, and we have made it so simple. So note the sentence with ellipsis must make complete sense. So if only the sentence will make sense, then it is good to bring the ellipsis. Sometimes even they ask you to write 400 words and you want to quote some idea, but if you know that if you bring all these ideas, you write more than 400 words and you bring it there to save some words down. So inserting your comment in a quotation, that is one of the things we should also do. Sometimes you may need to insert your own words in the original writer's word to make the quotation more understandable to your readers. In such case, place your words in a square bracket. Okay, so sometimes you when you are reading some book, you will see they place some words in a square bracket, especially the Bible. If you normally read the Amplified Bible, you see they normally place some words in a square bracket. That is their own word. It's not from the Bible, but they brought it there for you to understand it better. That's why they normally bring the square bracket. So anytime you see, if you're reading a book and you see square bracket, it means that the words that you are seeing there is the writer's own idea. It could be a quotation or it could be someone's quote, but if I want to maybe bring my own word to make it specific, okay, I'll just bring the square bracket. Here is an example. Modern ideas. So you see, then I've brought a square bracket. So square bracket here, that's modern ideas of freedom. So of freedom is in a square bracket. Okay, of idea is in a square bracket. So let me take it again. Modern idea of freedom differ radically from those of the ancient world. Okay, so of freedom here is my own word, but this is Nelson 1991's book that he wrote. Okay, Nelson 1991 book that he wrote. That's page 179. But I wanted to be more specific, so let's look at it. So putting of freedom in the square bracket makes it clear that you are not referring to the modern ideas of education or marriage or any other such issue. So you get it. So I'll be able to limit it. So that is it. And then the next discussion focuses on verbs of reference. Verbs of reference. So how do we use verbs of reference? Verbs of reference. Let's look at it. One common way to introduce a citation is seen in this example. According to Hoff, 2014, Crystal's definition of language is misleading. So a way we introduce verb in a reference, this is it. This is how we are doing it. So it is not appropriate. It is not inappropriate to use the phrase according to. Nevertheless, there are several words that could introduce your citation more precisely. Note that the verbs of reference are called reporting verbs. So the reporting verbs, some of them are the words we normally use, like example are Kwame Asset, okay? Yao contended that he Kofi stipulate, Kofi Kofi did this just like that, okay? Kofi postulate, Kofi argued. You get it? So all these things are, we are trying to introduce what verbs in it. I mean, mostly I use these ones. So that's why you see, say example, HOF 2014, page 4, content. So the contents here is what? The verb. Okay, we have introduced what? The verb here. We are using what? Verb of what? Reference. Verb of reference. So if you introduce a verb. Another one, Nkrumah asserted. So asserted is what? Verb of reference. Independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked to the total independence of the African continent. That is March 6, 1957. So you get it. The contents, the asserted, argued, all of them are what? Verb of what? Reference. So many reference verbs are used to indicate that the writer is presenting a case. They may also show the writer's attitude. They include verbs like argue, claim, consider, hypothesize, suggest, believe, state, and then that is it. So example continue like that. Okay, Bloom and one Lahi 2012 believe that. Okay, so it continued just like that. Kwame argued that. Kwame refuted this just like that. So it continued like that. So certain reference verbs including accept, admit, agree, deny, doubt, refute, describe reaction to previously stated position. Here example. Okay, so Hof 2014 refute the appropriateness of Crystal's definition. So that is how it is what done. So these are more examples. Writing the list of references. So now we are coming to now. This is the final part. How to write the list of references, and this is the most important aspect. Now you know the exams, they are likely to write all these things, the citations for you. Okay, in your exams, that is how it will be. But I'm not just give, but it is likely to come. They will be writing all the citations for you, like a complete passage, a book consists of what? The citations and everything. But they will ask you to what? Reference it, and this is how we will do it. But the reference, can ask you to write it in APA or MLA style. So you must learn the differences, the two, how to write APA or MLA, how to reference a book or a test journal using APA or MLA. Learn all these things, and if I get time, I'll release a video on these things. So this is how you go about it. The list consists of all the sources you have used or cited from the essay. So when you are writing the essay, when they give you the citation, you must what? This is how you should go about it. Every citation that you see in the book, you must write them. Every citation you see in a book, you must write them. But it depends. Yeah, so you write all of them, And also, this is the first step. Also, in writing the list, you must also follow the guidelines of the style used. As I said, if it is APA, they can give it to you in MLA style and they ask you to write it in APA style, or they can give it to you in the other way around. Okay, so prepare for everything. So this is how you do. Begin the list. Begin the list on a fresh page after the essay. Okay, that is what you should do. And also the title. Okay, title the list appropriately depending on the style used. Some styles use the title references. Okay, so you have to look at all these things. If the style they are using the title references, you must all do all this, and also arrange them in alphabetical order. This is very important. If they are surnames, if that doesn't mean that okay, the first one you should write it. When you are going through, you can be in your question paper, you can be writing the the numbers. You can be numbering them. When you see one citation, okay, this is A, and there's no any A after glancing through it, you have not seen any A, any of them that start with A, then you leave it. You number that one as 1. Then you go, maybe you can see at the end, you see some a B citation there, you label it as 2. You come to the middle, you see a C citation there, you label it. So at the end of the day, you have numbered all of them. So when you are writing them on the paper, you start from A in alphabetical order, A, B up to Z. That's how you should do it. You don't just write everything from the because that's the first citation, so you write it. No, it shouldn't be like that. And also, if there are 2 or more authors, maintain the same order of name. So that is how you should go about it. And also, for anonymous publication, use the name of the institution or the agency that published the article or the book. So some of the articles, sometimes the online publication, you go there and you will not see the person that would publish it. It is anonymous. So you look for the website name. Okay, you look for the website name. If it is encyclopedia or Wikipedia that you got that information from, you use that one. And also use hanging indent. That's begin the first line from the margin, but indent all subsequent lines. So this is it. So you look at this one, you see we started with Bloom. Okay, from B to F to to H to N to R to U, University of Ghana. So I don't know, you see how we have done it. It is just simple like that. Please, I'll be bringing you 1 or 2 small sessions before the exam, but I'll be recording a video on how to now write EP and then MLA style, like how to write how to reference or quote using these styles, the 2 of them. So I'll be doing that because that's the most important thing. I won't be recording all the slides for you, but these things, they are practical things, and if you learn them, I'm sure you are going to pass your exams once and for all. Please, if you have not shared the video, share it for me. If you have not sent it to your friend, send it to your friend. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, because I use a lot of data to do all these things. I use a lot of time to prepare for all these things. I even if I tell you the time I'm recording this video, you never believe. It is 11 o'clock. Look at the time, 11 o'clock, and I'm still recording. And I started learning around 5 o'clock. I'm just finishing it now. So please, a lot of work normally go through this one. So when you come and you see the links, share it with your friends and subscribe, please. God bless you, and I'll be meeting you in next recording. Thank you.